Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you all for being here. Can you hear me? Does it sound good? Can you hear the air conditioner? If so, I can turn it down. I didn't test to see if that was coming through. Let's see. Tie-dye Dawn, hello, hello. I'm going to do a little greetings while we're letting some people have a minute to get in here. Linda Padilla, welcome in, welcome, welcome. Oh, there's Lola. Thank you for being here. And Marianne, glad you're here. I saw you doing your little sneak pounce thing over at Granny D's. I thought that was cute. Let's see here. Madison Ray, hello. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Stephanie, hi Stephanie. Sorry I haven't got back with you, but I will go into all that and the craziness that's been. But anyway, that'll be here shortly. Rebecca, welcome, welcome. Jamie Marie, how are you doing? Christy, there's Christy. Let's see. Gina Thomas, welcome in, welcome, welcome. And leave the AC on. Okay, thank you, Madison. Thank you. Jill Fountain, Grammy Wendy, Fuzzy Butt Crochet, welcome in, welcome, welcome. And there's Stitch in the Spectrum. And Jennifer Squirrel Raid, thank you guys coming over from Granny D's. And there's VJ and Julie. Let's see, Joni Finner, and there's Sam, Sherry R, Stephanie Newman. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for coming in and being here. I guess I'll go ahead and get started with everything. I wanted to take a moment. Shirley Bain, hello. And I guess kind of apologize a little bit on not being as present. And I think for the most part I've caught up on emails and all that stuff. I was kind of taking a little time because one of the main issues, they had put me on a new medication. And I didn't even mention it to a lot of the people here in the house, but there was some issues. It did not react well with me. It had my my mind very clouded, and the thought processes just weren't working correctly. Like, for instance, as an example, I had went to the store and I bought a new thing of ice cream the one day. Apparently that evening I made a bowl of the ice cream, and for whatever reason, and I usually leave the freezer door open when I'm fixing that so I can just put it back in there. So, like, it's not typical to make the mix up, but apparently in my foggy brain time decided that it was best to then take the ice cream when I was done with it and just put it in the refrigerator instead of back in the freezer. It's just a lot of little things like that that I didn't even notice. My mom pointed that out because she was the one that found the ice cream. So odd little things. And then also, I did discontinue the medication just because there was some other things, and it even started causing some edema in my legs, which I've never had before. And that's frightening when you notice that and you've not had it, and then you, like, when you look it up and it's like, okay, it's this medication that was causing that, and it's whatever reason with it. And it was just a lot of little things that were sort of stress inducing as well. But that's all. I discontinued that, and we'll be getting with the doctor on making sure everything is good. But I'm feeling a little better. And also, I just yesterday evening started back crocheting a little bit. I'd had to take a little time off because I think when I fell and I hit my hand here when I caught myself, I had a lot of like when I would try to work with the thread, because when I'm holding this here, something about this motion when I was like squeezing, I would get tingle here, and it very nerve related. So I think when I hit that, it it did something in there, but it feels better, and it didn't really hurt much. It just had that weird nerve thing. And then when I would like do that and like flex my hand around, that would get better. But then as soon as I would try to go back in and do the gripping on the project, whatever it was I was working on, it would do it again. and it was really these 2 fingers, so I think maybe I hit something on this side when I braced it. I don't know. It's been, time, plus all the other regular life stuff. It just, everything piled on at once. And everybody is saying hello to everybody. Sorry, guys, trying to read and catch up a little bit here. Thanks to on the walls. Yes, thank you guys. I will kind of roll so you can see. These are, um, I believe, all of the hanks that I have received in as of yet. Now, I have not been to the P.O. Box today, so I'll probably do that tomorrow after late afternoon, um, and check it, because some people have let me know that there are some things coming in that I've not received yet. So they may be down at the post office actually. Um, I believe I've done videos and some things in lives, um, talking about all of these and thanking everybody that has contributed here. Um, if I have missed you, it just means probably that I have not gotten your package yet, or have not got it open yet, but I don't have any here that are unopened. So if I haven't, it's probably still on its way to me and I just haven't picked it up, because the stuff from over the weekend also would still be down there, and I've not gotten that yet. Um, let's see. The ones on my side. Yes, these are actually the same brand. These are Nitpicks. These are from Nitpicks, and they are the same brand and styling as this group here, and also these pinks and reds and burgundies down here. They are very, very super soft and very, very nice. Sorry, pardon my pain patch on my neck back there. I woke up with a horrible, horrible crick in my neck, so I was trying to do something to alleviate that a bit. um, let's see. Thank you guys for being here. Really, really, it means a lot. And I just, again, I'm, you know, sorry that I've sort of fallen behind. I'm behind on several things, not just on making videos and putting content out there, but actually also watching content. I've just been really out of it, out of the loop, but I will get back caught up again. And there are some things that will be rolling out content wise from me. I have some projects that I'm going to feature in some videos. I have some ideas for some expanded content and stuff as well. So while I've been taking recoup and sort of time to recollect myself and everything, I have been thinking about things and projects and putting new things to the list. Um, let's see here. Is the email on your main page correct? Yes, Marianne, it is. And that's something I was forgetting. Let me write that down right now, because I just remembered yesterday evening I had to pull your email. It was in my junk folder and I pulled it out, and then I completely forgot to respond. So let me write that down real quick. And after the live, I will send you that response. That way it does not slip out of my head, and I propped it right there on my keyboard. Sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, and we've had some shipping fiascos as well. The post office has been no short amount of irritation for me during this time where I've not felt uh, up to par. The package actually, I don't think she'll mind me saying, and it'll be kind of an update as well on her stuff. For Pamsky, the package, she had ordered soaps from me, plus she won some stuff in the celebration live that we did. I sent those out, and it took the post office a very, very long time. She emailed me and she was like, "Hey, I still haven't received that." And it had been well more than a week since it had shipped out, right? I think it was like 8 days or something. And whenever I ran the tracking on it, it was showing that it was still somewhere in the middle of the country. And it was like, "Sorry, your package is delayed. It's on route to whatever." And then literally the next day, she emailed me and was like, "Hey, the tracking is saying that it's at your post office." No clue there. So if I had to pick that up, I have to remake a label, because whenever the post office put the label, and I filled out the form correctly, put the second layer of the address, everything on their form that they printed out, they didn't put like the suite or the number, the allocation for her unit or where she lives, right? They just put the street, so it went all the way there after the delay, and then had to come all the way back here because it was like incomplete address. And the lady at the post office was apologetic for it, but it's still something that I guess they're holding me responsible. I should have checked the label that they printed and put it on there at the post office. I don't know. So I have to do a whole new label. So that will be going out with packages that I have going out tomorrow. So it's been, and there's just lots of other shipping things that have been not fun. I've I have had a time with them, but post office is the post office. Um, let's see. Scrolling. Hope everybody is doing well. Do those pain patches work for neck issues? Um, it tends to work pretty decent on mine. I mean, it doesn't like remove the, like if you have like a crick, you sleep wrong or something. It's still, you know, once the pain patch comes off, and it could just be also a bit of a placebo effect on me, because whatever. But it does feel like it helps, and it at least gives me a little bit more range of motion than what I had before. But I know that it's short lived. As soon as I take it off, that will probably come back, and it'll take its normal like day or two to you know uh, heal up. But let's see. Um, and if I am missing you come in, I want to say hello to everybody that is here and thank you all for being here. It means the world to me, and I just, I'll never be able to express that. And I have missed some things. The chat has jumped on me a couple times in here because it's being very squirrely. Um, let's see. I saw that VJ asked how was my nephew. He's doing well. He's the See, I can't even remember the last update, and that's how clouded my brain was with everything. I believe in the last video I did a little update, and but it came out that the pediatrician, wasn't too overly worried about the elevated numbers. He was, but not because he thought that it was some health condition other than just weight related, because he is very heavy. He's the doctor put him on paper as morbidly obese, and he is quite heavy. He's 5'3" and he's 200 pounds, and he's 11, so he is heavy. So a lot of that is going to be working with not just some changes that we can preemptively make here on getting his health on a better track, but also the pediatrician's office is going to be putting us in contact with a nutritionist that can kind of help with that and see if there's maybe some underlying issues there as well. Because he said it could be a genetic predisposition to the weight gain that could go along with, spectrum things and like all the stuff. And he said he wanted to refer to an outside specialist on that to make sure that that lines out and does properly. Let's see. Display's coming out nicely. Yes, thank you, Scrimshaw. Thank you, thank you. It's such a blessing. I mean, everybody has been so kind with taking part in the friendship mini hanks thing that Crystal Bag of Day came up with. It the outreach from it has been really amazing, and there've been so many people who I emails and stuff as well, just people letting me know, like, they don't necessarily have many hanks, they don't do that kind of thing, but they wanted to send me a message of support, and that is just as important and just as valued to me. So thank you to everybody that has done that as well. It just, the kindness and the generosity from the community in whatever form that the people are able to give it has just been staggering as always, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. Let's see. My grandson comes over and then he does it. Nice, Shirley. Oh, that's Christy. Yes, guys, and thank you, Zoila, for that. To get in touch with me if there's a question you have, whether it's about my projects, just life in general. If you just want to chat, if you want to whatever it is, about soaps, whatever, you can send me an email, and it's moonlitmothbeauty@outlook.com. And while I'm thinking about it, if you're in here right now and you would like to drop your link in the chat so that everybody in here can go and show your channel some love, all you have to do is type the word moth, and Nightbot will drop that in the chat. And everybody in here, I know you guys are great about doing it, but if you see a link in here and you know it's somebody that you do not subscribe to, or maybe it's somebody you haven't even checked their stuff in a while, but you do subscribe, just follow that link, open up an extra tab, and after the live, do please go and watch their videos, leave them a wonderful comment, hit that thumb button on some of their stuff. Like, just show the love and keep it spreading and moving forward. um let's see. Bum, bum, bum. No, no, Marianne, it is the right one. I did see it, but I did have to rescue it from the junk bin because my email just feels like every email that comes in apparently needs to, be sorted into that pile, and I don't know how to make it not do that. Um, let's see. Thank you. What I may have missed. And I think I saw Pamski say she sent me an email. Okay, I will check for that as well after the live. Since I'm going to be in my emails sending out some stuff anyway, I will check for that. But yeah, so if in case I don't know if you heard or not, whenever I was explaining what happened with your package and the post office not putting the second line of the address on the label that they printed, because that was one that I didn't even do through pirate ship. That was one through the post office itself. So that was on them. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I'm just so exasperated with the post office. I'm really thinking about possibly just starting to do labels through pirate ship for UPS, because really the price difference, I mean, it's like sometimes the price difference is like $1 difference in doing UPS or doing standard post office. So I really think that I may start doing that. And the only thing with that is if I do that, since there's no drop off where I live, I do have to take them into a neighboring town. So I'll probably only do ship outs like once a week instead of 2 to 3 times a week like I've been doing. But it would be something where I feel like the packages would maybe be delivered a little more in a proper manner and in a timely manner with UPS. I'm just really upset with the post office right now. Um, I really wish that there was another option outside of a P.O. box, because I surely would just cancel it and do it. Like I know some big cities have those mailbox stores where you can go and do it through them, and it's like a third party deal and it's not the post office, because at this point, just giving the post office more of my money with all the issues I've had is uh but you got to do what you got to do, right? Let's see. uh hello everybody that has come in that I've missed. I do not mean to miss anybody. I hope everybody is doing really well. I hope your weekend was very pleasant. I hope you filled it with lots of fun things and smiles and happiness. That's important. Let's see. You can do the labels at home for the post office. That's what I do. Yeah, and I typically do. So I guess it really was my fault. I usually do most of my stuff I do through pirate ship, and that gives me a chance to sort of proofread stuff and make sure that everything matches the way it's supposed to. But I had a few packages that week that I sent stuff out to, like Pamski and some others, where the labels I just had done because I was running behind, and I just went to the post office. I'm like, I'll pay the few extra dollars and just have them done here. Well, I should have, you know, but that's okay, I guess. So sorry to Pamski, and there's a few other people who your packages have been delayed just because of all the stuff I've had this past week. And please do bear with me. Um, things are coming. I was able to get some of my stuff out. I had some soap orders that went out. I had some Happy Mails that went out. I still have Happy Mails, especially with the mini hanks. that will be going out this week. So probably midweek, I'd say Wednesday, Thursday. So some people will be getting uh, mini hanks in return for the friendship gesture, because that's what it's all about. It's not just about sending something. For me, it's about the hashtag friendship mini hank is about showing love and support to whoever it is that you feel like supporting and sharing a smile with. So I feel like that's very important. Even if it's not a mini hank, you just want to send somebody a card, send somebody, a nice email, whatever it is. I just think that's such an important concept, right? Because you never know what small gesture can completely change the path and the course of someone's day. So I'm so excited to be a part of that, and so thankful that was something that has sent love my way. But I also want to make sure and then send that back out into the world as well. So let's see. Yeah, Pam, I did it. It doesn't mean I was tickled about it whenever it came back to the post office. And what I think what made it worse is small post office, right? So there's like two people that work there, and the one is like a stand-in postmaster person. Uh, but I she's great. I pray for her avid and rapid promotion through the postal service every day. Um, but the lady that I typically deal with and that I'm friends with that's down there is great. I never have any issues with anything with her, but she's been out a bit the last little bit because she's been taking some vacation time, and it's ball season and her kids are involved with that stuff, and she's trying to take her vacation to sort of coincide with some of that to be able to be there for that. So she's been out a little bit, and it was having to deal with this other person that, yeah. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, Joseph. Um, but let's see. Hello, Michael, and everybody else. If you've come in and I've missed you, that's not on purpose. Let's see. Hello, Cindy. Welcome in. What did I miss? Okay. Let's see. What are you chomping on, Zoila? Oh, I was going to show you. To test my hand and making sure that I was able to do it. Since I had got these little skeins of the cotton. That's really glary. It's the Oh Baby Organic from Lion Brand, 100% cotton. I was like, well, I'll test it out and make a little, uh, like a washcloth or something. And I forgot my stitch counting, and so I picked up too many stitches, so it's starting like the ruffle look. But I'm not upset. I'm not gonna like frog it back. I'm just gonna let it do its thing, and it's fine. I feel like with the ruffle, it's just gonna add like a depth and texture to the little face, little washcloth for a face. So I was like, oh, we'll run with it and just see what see what happens. It may be real ruffly by the time it's big enough to be a washcloth, but I think that's okay. So I'm going to keep picking up the stitches in the same way that I did this, just to see how it comes out at the end, like a little exploration. Um, yes, thank you guys for all the thumbs. It's for the house. Yeah, exactly. you know, um, and that's how I kind of look at everything, because I don't really um, outside of the few projects that I have sent out and will be sending out for people, most of my projects I keep. Like, even if it's not something that like I can use or somebody in the house will use, I don't know. I, I guess I could donate stuff or try to work with Rotary and like come up with maybe like a raffle, for some of the items, just to raise money for a good cause. But I just feel so weird selling my projects, even though people have told me, they're really nice and that, people would pay for them. I feel weird about selling projects. I don't know, because we're all our own worst critics, right? When it comes to that kind of thing. So it's just maybe the charity raffle thing might be a thing. I don't know. I've not decided really what to do with these projects that I'm making, but I'll figure it out eventually. Um, let's see. You scroll up to see my previous messages. You can get a virtual address and use that cheaper than a P.O.Box. Oh, let me scroll and see if it's still here. I was looking at this. Well, to print my label and have local post office pick up from my mailbox during their route. I weigh it here. Yeah, I weigh my packages as well because I have, I have scales and things because of the soap. So I have the scales for that stuff anyway. So that works out for that. Let's see. Virtual address is what I'm looking into. I can send you the info. Physical address one is iPostal 1. You can use that as a virtual address, and they forward packages to you or you pick up. Oh, cool. Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to send me that information in an email, or I can try to remember that and Google that. I won't make promises on remembering exactly that, but I would be very, very interested in learning more about that. I mean, yeah, saving money on it would be nice if it is cheaper than a PO box, but also just the idea of I would literally rather give my money to anybody other than the United States Postal Service. like, I like, I'm very irritated with them. Let's see. Oh, hello, Darcia. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Trying to read a little bit. I know I've missed a lot. Pricing is an issue with Tunisian because of the time it takes too. Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is because when I really look at it, and if you calculate in, say, the price of the yarn, right? And then even if you factor it in to say number of hours a project takes and giving yourself a standard wage for those hours, by the time you add all that up, I feel like the project has to be too expensive to make it make sense. And it makes me feel bad asking that. Like, and I understand people buy those things all the time and stuff, and it is, but I, I just it's that thing of like you feel like, oh, is my stuff really worth that? I don't know. Like even if you've calculated in like a minimum wage type situation per hour worked on a project, it really just it adds up because things take a while, right? And I don't like keep a stopwatch when I'm working on a project. So I don't even really know how many hours fully go into a completed project because I just sort of work on it and then time passes by and I don't really know if it's been 2 hours or if I, have 8 hours invested in the project or if it's been, 20 hours invested in it. I don't keep up with that. So it's that thing of like, how do you balance it and how do you know what makes sense? Um, let's see. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Absolutely. If you would like your channel dropped in the chat so that people can go and show you love and support, all you have to do is type the word moth and do kind of give it a moment between types so that way Nightbot doesn't get overwhelmed and confused. So, uh, and if you do, like I mentioned earlier, if you see channels dropped in there that you don't recognize, or it's somebody you don't know, or even somebody that you haven't watched their stuff in a while, just do go and show them support and love and just kind of spread that positivity and happiness and keep it rolling forward because, again, that's what this channel is all about. And I know that all of you guys are really good about that. And I don't really have to tell you, but you know, a reminder never hurts. Let's see. Zach, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind, buddy. I wouldn't get upset about a wrong name. Let's see. Sounds like me. I don't keep it either, but I only crochet for friends and family. No business, thankfully. Yeah, and I didn't get into crochet and the hobby at all with the mindset of business. it was just sort of something like to try it out and see what happened. And now here I am several projects later, like, I don't know, probably 8 or 10 whips, and an ever increasing collection of yarn and hooks and like um, all the bells and whistles that go along with it. And I still just don't think of it as a business. It's very much just a hobby and a way to pass time and sort of focus on that instead of worrying about stressful things or whatever it is. Um, so I don't know. It's hard to think of it in the terms of business when it comes to pricings and like all of that. Something went into my eye, and sorry guys. Um, let's see. If you price something and it sells out right away, you aren't charging enough. If they sit forever unsold, your price may be too high. Yeah, and I guess that is a good gauge. You can always. I think it's better to set high initially than to undercut yourself out of the gate, because you can always adjust it down. But once it sells, if it sells for too little, you can't go back and ask, for more. So I may try that if I do decide to sell some things. I don't know. That's not like a pressing thing because I don't mind storing the items now, but at some point in the future, maybe. Um, Whoops, chat jumped again. Sorry, guys. Um, I feel for the time that you dedicate to a project, you are never going to get what you have in it. Yeah, and I think that's true. Um, but I guess that's where it comes into it about not looking at it as something. It's not like a job or a business money making sort of thing. And it's just like you enjoy making the project and you have the experience and the stuff you know along the journey of making it. But then once it's finished, I guess if you could, make a few dollars on it and somehow maybe put that towards getting some yarn for a next project or something. I think that maybe that's a better way to look at it than like having to worry and make, say, like, oh, I have 15 hours of, you know, time working on this, so I have to make, say, $15 an hour. I just think that's, so I don't know. I don't even remember how I come up on that. Uh, I don't know how I got there, but um, let's see. There's Mishi. Hello, hello. Hello to Joan, Darcia, Michelle M, and everybody else that I've missed. I have not been intending to miss anybody, so if I have, I do apologize. It was not intentional. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot, and I hope you are doing well. Um, so yeah, that's sort of been my uh, last week and a half or so, and I've been just out of sorts. I know it's been like, I think tomorrow will be day 5 since my last video. I do have some things, like I said, that will be coming out this week. I have probably three videos this week it, that I know of. So there will be those things, and then I may try to fit in a pop-up live at some point towards the end of the week. Just depending on open time slots and stuff, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes when it comes to their time slot or whatever, because I want everybody to be able to go and support everybody equally. So we'll just see. We'll play it by ear on the pop-up live, but I do know that I have as of right now the 3 videos that are planned and scheduled. So unless something crazy comes up, that is the course of action. I find people who don't crochet can't understand the value of just the yarn. They can't understand why I would ever pay $28 for a hand-dyed superwash merino. Yeah, and I think that's something that I learned early on with that is I know I enjoy superwash merinos, and I enjoy alpaca, and I enjoy um, bougie yarn, right? I think everybody kind of does at whatever level. Some people don't care for it, and that's fine, but those of us that do, at least those on my budget. um, I feel like when we use those yarns and work with those yarns, those aren't necessarily a yarn that we can use in every project, especially if it's something we're looking to sell and make the money on. Because, say, like my cardigan, for instance, that I'm working on, that I am behind on, but I am planning on working more on that this week and into the weekend. Um, the amount of just the sheer amount of money that I have in yarn on that cardigan, I could never sell that cardigan and recoup that, eh, not even counting in hours of work, right? So I feel like those things, the yarns like that, when we use those, at least for me, I feel like I would use those yarns when it is a personal project or something to sort of like treat myself or spoil myself with that. Um, and then use really nice yarns, soft yarns, durable yarns, pretty yarns, but that are more budget friendly and easier on the pocketbook, like things like Kobu, Trubu, the Lucky brand bamboo. You got uh, mandalas are really super nice. I love working with mandala. It's one of my absolute favorite yarns. Um, Lion brand actually has a lot of yarn that I really enjoy. um, Even as to this cotton here that I found at the mission. Like, this is it's such a nice cotton. It's very soft. It doesn't split at all. It has a nice twist on it, so it doesn't do that, unwinding. So it's very nice. I really enjoy Lion brand. So I think it's just, at least for me, I have to be mindful of, if it is a project that, say, I'm making for somebody, unless it was a commission. If they paid for bougie yarn and they wanted $28 a hank yarn on their project, absolutely. If they were paying for that, by all means. But if it's something I'm just making out of yarn that I have here that I would then think about selling or something like that, I would very much steer towards economical yarn, just because you'd go broke if you didn't. Um, Willing to pay for cheap acrylic. They don't understand how much yarn is needed and cost. Yeah, and I think I think that goes along with any of the arts, right? Whether you're a painter, sculptor, um, woodworker, fiber artist, whatever art it is that you do. If you're not somebody, if the person that you're talking to out there in the world, if they're not somebody who's ever done it, they're completely detached from knowing, the cost of the tools that you have to do it. they're they don't know the cost of the materials to make it, and they don't even think about the amount of time it takes and the skill, right? Because if anybody can go and buy paint and a paintbrush and a canvas, and you can slap that paint on that canvas. You can, but is it going to come out a masterpiece? Probably not. But so there is something to be said for the value of a skill, or an amount of practice that someone has put into something. um, but people don't think about that, because, again, if you're not involved directly with that particular craft, you don't really know or understand what goes into it. um, so I don't know, it's one of those things. um, I guess that's the whole starving artist thing, right? you know um, let's see. uh, yeah, I feel I get that, Joan, for sure. In a throwaway world, so much stuff. The things that you buy are a lot of times sold with a built-in obsolescence. They're they're sold and purchased with the intent of the manufacturer knowing that it's going to last you X amount of time, whether that's weeks, months, a year, whatever. And then they know that the way it's made, that will then have to be replaced. And so they will continue being able to sell, right? Because they know that you're going to need those replacements, or those, whatever it is. And I think a lot of times good durable crafts, anything can wear out, right? But I just feel like I'm more willing to pay good money for something that somebody put the hard work into and the creative effort than something that a company made. And I wouldn't even get me started on like the importers that, they have all of like the crocheted handbags and the shirts and the cardigans and the sweaters that are like knit sweaters that they either are able to do on an assembly line with machines, or if it's the crochet stuff, whether they're in third world countries and paying people horrible wages to do it, I don't know. But I feel like there's no way that you can sell a crocheted top for $25 and in any way recoup or make any profit on that. So I just don't know how they're able to do that. And I would never purchase that and never support that, because I know that that is um, taking away from a crafting community. And I guess that's where you get into some of it's the same thought process with some of like I don't want to talk about it, but AI with art and stuff. I think it's that same sort of principle and idea of like taking away um, uh, something from a true crafter and doing it for like a cheap reproduction, that kind of thing. But um, so I don't know. Anyway, let's see. No, and that's true, tie-dye Dawn. Dyeing yarn isn't inexpensive. I've not ordered any of the stuff to do it, and I've not, but I have looked, just because I look everything up, to get good quality dyes and to get the setup, because you need, the containers in which to properly dye the yarn in. You have to find a supplier for the undyed hanks, and you have to find, all this stuff, and all of that adds up, and it you get a lot of money invested in that. So it's, I think that the dyeing of the yarn is just as kind of overlooked and undervalued as the actual crafting of the products using that yarn. Like, so, we're just sort of in a hole all the way around, I think. Um, let's see. Chronic tendonitis in my thumb, so I haven't been crocheting or knitting. And I worry about that sometimes with my hands, because I do have uh, carpal carpal tunnel issues. Not real bad at this point, but I do worry about that because I do have the in both hands. I get the finger tingle and numbness and the stuff, and sometimes the pain that comes like from the elbow area. So I just sort of have to take those as indicators, like, oh, I should probably quit for a like put it down for the rest of the day and let my hands and arms rest. And I'm hoping that those problems don't continue to worsen. But I know that time is all of our worst enemy. So eventually those things probably will be issues. Um, but hopefully it's a while off yet. Let's see. Oh, chat jumped again. Well, let's let's see if I can scroll here on this side. Diggy diggy diggy. Sorry. My chiropractor gets me fixed up good. I think that's something that I need to do is try to get into a chiropractor, or at least I know my insurance covers it. I just haven't really done it. Um, thank you, Mary. It's very very sweet. But we have to do those things sometimes, and when there's no options and whatnot, you have to take the best possible path and solution. Um, and I that is something that the pediatrician did recommend, is even if in the early time of just getting started with it, the like 30 minutes of physical activity a day just to get up and moving, and then just build on it from there. Um, and I guess it is kind of our fault because he has lived in the house here for 5 years, but my mother nor myself were really that custodial guardian. My grandmother has had the say, and she's you know purchased some of the snacks and the stuff, and she's kind of um, even when we would try to be constructive and get him to do things, she would override, and she spoiled him. She pampers him really bad. um, so that is it did develop and become a problem. um, so it is going to be something to work towards, but on a plus note with that, he has been going. He didn't today because it's been rainy all day, but the last few days he has been going out of an evening. He has a new little friend that lives behind us, and they have a massive backyard full of like play equipment. They've got like slides and swings and uh, all sorts of stuff back there. Um, 1 second. Sorry, my phone is ringing, but it's not for me. Um, okay. So he has been going back there and playing with this little boy, and apparently they get along really well. And they take their Nerf guns out, and they like the whole backyard is set up. It's perfect for like Nerf wars because there's so many places you can hide behind, and they can just have fun with it. They both got like these big Nerf arsenals, you know. Huh? Sorry, y'all. I was having to unlock the phone. Um, so yeah, but that is a big plus. And he's been excited about that. So it's easier when it's like his choice, and he's going out and playing, than if we were to like tell him like, "Hey, bud, you want to, because he's got basketball goals, he's got stuff here, right, and so many things that you could play with. He has a brand new bike. He's got all these things, but it's just the phone and the Xbox is fun, and he really enjoys that. So it's been nice that he has that where he can go and play. Um, let's see. Yeah, I having the buddy to play with is just really it makes all the difference. Um, sorry guys, scrolling. Sorry. There we go. I had to get back where it was because my um, StreamYard chat even jumped on me, and I was like, "Oh no!" Um, So yeah, that's been sort of the crazy last few weeks. Honestly, there've been so much going on, plus my health stuff with that medication that just really threw me for a loop. I felt really rough, and my mind was just clouded, and I couldn't really process stuff. I wasn't like I was doing things and not remembering that I did them or whatever it was. It just really disagreed with me, and I think it was really the edema in my legs that I noticed that really like that was like the turning point. And I'm like, oh wow, okay. So I instantly discontinued the medication with that because I just it freaks you out, and you don't, because if you've not really okay. um let's see. Sorry, somebody was talking at me. Um, let's see. Yeah, and it really is, and it's helpful. And see the little boy that's back there, the lady who owns the house, she's been back there since she had owned that house before we moved in here, but she was having one of her sons fix it up for her, and so she didn't actually move into the house until a year after we moved into this one. And um, the little boy was not there the whole time. He his dad, which is the lady's brother, had just moved into the area, so he's staying with her. And as far as I know, he's just going to live there with the boy and help her, continue fixing the house up and all that stuff. So they should be there at least for a good bit of time before he starts looking for a house in the town. So even if it's a thing like, once they've been here a while, the little boy ends up across town, at least they've formed a friendship and have that, bond. And we can always, take them over there, or wait, they can, meet them and they can go to the park, whatever it is, and keep that friendship going. So it's been really nice that the little boy is there now, and he's same age as Jaden, and they, like I said, they get along really well. So that's a big help. Um, there's Dawn Yarndall. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Dawn Aaron. Lovely Dawn Aaron. Thank you all for being here. It's so awesome to see everybody. And again, I apologize that this past like week and a half, I've just been non-present for a large part of it. But like I said, just, when you feel rough, and plus on top of feeling like that, like any minute where I didn't feel bad, I've had so much happening. But now that I'm feeling better, um, I'm able to been the last 2 days, I've been able to catch up on a lot of stuff that just hear things that I was needing to do. So hopefully, moving through this week, I can get everything back on track and caught up, and you know, get back to the usual. Um, and that really, it would probably help me a lot as well, because I do not have the most active life. Because a lot of my work, not YouTube and stuff, but even the stuff I do extracurriculars is all predominantly here at a computer. So my work is at a computer. Um, my extracurriculars are at a computer. So I am very sedentary myself, and I have gained a little bit of weight. So it would be good also for myself to, and we did talk about as a house, granted, my grandmother, she's not able to do it, but we did talk about the possibility of doing like family walks, you know? So like evenings when it's nice, everybody go out and we just kind of make a loop, or go down and we can, you know, walk a little loop and come back and just have like a little outing is like a thing. And that's, 20-30 minutes of walk time, because you could do the big loop, but that's a big loop and there's lots of big hills, so it would not be convenient to do that. But we do have some places around here where we could just sort of do like a little family evening walks or something, and I think that would also be a good idea. um, it is, it really is. And I think that that's been a big thing in a different way for even education purposes with him, because he is behind developmentally and things, with possibility of being on the spectrum. We don't know because no official diagnosis yet, but there's just some things there that are big markers for that. And so it's very much something that whenever you tell him things like, because he's really behind on reading in particular. So he has a very, very hard time with that. And, when you try to reason through it with him on like, buddy, we really need to practice this and try it. Like there's always that excuse because technology really gets in the way. He's like, well, I can just tell my phone. And it's like, no, 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 no. That's different. That's not that doesn't work. Um, you know, but it's just that sometimes trying to even reason with kids, especially special needs or things like that, sometimes their logic is the only logic that their brain is willing to to accept, so that's let's see. I do not. I did, but Lord, I haven't even ridden one in a long time. The last time I rode a bicycle was actually a bike at a gym. It wasn't even like a real bike. It was like the exercise bike. So it's been many, many years. Um, oh, hello, Sunita. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. When I was younger, I used to do that. Like really young, like 13 to 15, somewhere in there. I did that. I had a video, and I don't even remember where I got it. I think it was at a yard sale or something. And I watched it, and I just thought it was cool and interesting to do. But I do have some experience with that. I've forgotten most of it now, but I did have I did do that when I was younger. Let's see. Keep scrolling, scrolling. I will check. I don't recall getting one from you recently. Um, but I will double check that because I like I said, I do have some emails and stuff after the live to get out and respond to. So I will dig and make sure that that didn't get buried somewhere. So yes, I will check that. Let's see. I'm notifications set to all, but didn't get his notification for this live. Oh, well, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're here. That's what matters, right? And thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you. And mine does it all the time. I have notifications set for so many people, and then half the time it doesn't even show me, and it's irritating. But I guess it's one of those YouTube hiccups, you know. Um, uh, Georgina, thank you so very much. That is very very sweet, and you do not have to do that, but thank you and bless you for that. Um, thank you. Um, let's see. Well, I know, but it's just very much in my nature to be that way. Um, because it does make you feel bad when you do feel like you're behind and there's people who are, sort of counting on you being there, being present and doing the things. And it, I don't know. So that's just me. Um, yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Uh, what's it caused? Pitting edema. Flush them. Yeah, that's it's scary, isn't it? Especially if you've not never had that or never experienced that. Like I've seen it, obviously. I've through my whole life I've helped take care of like ill or aging family members and things like that, so obviously I've seen it, so I knew what it was. But just it's very different when you see it with yourself and you're like it's like, oh no. um so it was very much that like wake up moment, like, oh goodness, okay. um Let's see. Thank you, thank you. And yes, guys, if you are watching right now, make sure and hit that thumbs button. It is free to do, and it really makes all the difference here on YouTube. And also, if you're here and watching and you're not subscribed, and you would like to see the stuff that I have coming up, and all the stuff, just hit that subscribe button and a little notification bell, to let you know when those things do come out and post. I'm all about spreading kindness and positivity and, sharing a smile with people in any way that I can. So if that sounds like something, that's for you, and obviously it's a yarn and crochet centric channel, but I do have other facets and aspects as well. I make soaps and do all this stuff, which I am once again behind on soaps. But that will be caught up, and you know all that stuff, so uh bear with me. um Let's see. Scrolling. And yes, once again, thank you, Georgina. That was very, very sweet of you. See, scrolling. And I'm going to do a speed scroll here. Sorry if I'm missing all the stuff. I just know we're close on our time. And does anybody know, is Sunita going live? Is she live at 6 today? Or if not, who is going live? Because I want to make sure that when we leave here, we do go and do a support raid to whoever it is that will be live when I go off. Let's see, I've reached the bottom. Yes, love and hugs to all in chat. I just, it's so important. Positivity and kindness and all, just all of that you can spread is just, it makes the world that much better of a place. And it means a lot when we do that. So if everybody would like, one more time before we do head out of here, if you would like to drop your link in the chat for people to go and subscribe and show love to your channel, all you have to do is type the word moth in the chat. Let's see. Yes, she is going live. Okay, so what we will do is we'll be wrapping up here, and we're going to jump, if my mods can put Sunita's link in the chat, and I would like for us to go and do a friendship support raid over to Sunita's and show her all the love that we possibly can muster. That would mean a lot. And I thank everybody so very much for being here and supporting me and being understanding. Um, and just keep doing what you guys do. Sharing a smile, spreading the love, keeping it positive. Thank you all very much. And I will see you again very soon, guys. Bye.